Hello and welcome to the National Amyloidosis Centre. I'm Angelique Smith, a lead clinical and research nurse here, and I'm delighted to introduce this video which will give you some information about who we are and what to expect when you come here for an appointment. As the National Specialist Centre for Amyloidosis, we have expert staff and advanced facilities dedicated to this rare disease. As there are so many different forms of amyloidosis, it is essential to accurately diagnose your condition so it can be optimally managed and treated. So let's find out from some of our staff what tests you will undergo when you visit.
Typically, when you visit the Amyloid Centre, it will be a 1, 2 or 3 day visit. The length of the stay will depend on the different tests that we perform. We are able to provide accommodation for you, overnight accommodation for you, which is based at the hotel within the grounds of the hospital. On arrival at the Amyloid Centre, you will first of all meet our friendly reception staff. They will give you a little bit of a welcome to the centre, and if you have collected a 24-hour urine sample, they will show you where to store that. Shortly after, one of our echo technicians will come along and ask you to follow them to the echo suites. We have 2 dedicated rooms for our echoes to be performed in, and the test typically takes around about 30 minutes. One of our dedicated amyloidosis healthcare assistants will then take you through to one of our consulting rooms where they'll perform a range of different tests. They'll take your blood pressure, your pulse, your heart rate, as well as some oxygen saturations, and they'll pop some stickers onto your chest and onto your limbs, and from there they'll ask you to sit still for around about 10 seconds as they perform the ECG. The ECG gives a tracing of your heart rhythm, which is obviously really useful in diagnosing amyloidosis. They will then ask you to take off your shoes and socks and ask you to go over and have the bioimpedance test done. It's a little bit like some weighing scales. They'll ask you to stand on the scales and pop your hands on the bar, and the machine will provide us with an idea of the composition of your body. They'll then ask you to walk up the corridor with them to perform the 6-minute walk test. Typically, the next person you'll come across will either be one of our clinic nurses or one of our radiographers, and they will take you along into the phlebotomy room where they will take some blood samples from you, and depending on whether you're having the SAP scan or not, they will inject you with some radioactive isotope, a tracer.
The SAP scan involves an injection of a small amount of a radiotracer called SAP. And this injection is administered into the patient, and they are either scanned 2 to 3 hours after the injection, or sometimes they are scanned the following day. Their camera will pass over their body and scans from the front and behind. The scan takes approximately 20 to 25 minutes.
Following the SAP scan, you'll be asked to go back to the waiting room, and very soon after that, one of our doctors will call you in for the consultation.
It can often be quite daunting when you hear about the word amyloid and you've been referred to this sort of specialised centre. But the really important thing is that once we see you, we can go through all of your tests, conduct a whole range of new tests, talk to you all the way through and explain the process, and ultimately make sure we get the right diagnosis for you and the right management plan.
Following the consultation, there could be some further tests. Now, those tests will be determined by obviously what the other tests have already shown us. One of those tests is a CMR scan.
Cardiac MRI is a non-invasive scan that allows us to take very detailed pictures of the heart. We can visualize the structure and the function of the heart, how much the heart contracts, how well it moves, and also how thick the walls of the heart are. We can use a special dye that is called gadolinium, and it allows us to look at the protein in the heart.
There is also the possibility that they may perform a DPD scan.
The DPD scan is a nuclear medicine scan which involves us giving you an injection with a medicine which has been made slightly radioactive. That injection is called a radiopharmaceutical. We inject that into your arm, and then we do a scan 3 hours later, and we'll do 2 pictures, a picture of their whole body from head to toe, which takes about 17 minutes, and then a further picture, which is a focus picture just of their heart, for another 17 minutes. For both of those pictures, the camera will be required to come close to your body to get good quality pictures.
You may not know that some forms of amyloidosis are inherited, which means that they can be passed down from a parent to their children. During your visit, genetic testing will be carried out so you will know whether you have the inherited form of the disease. Our specialist staff will be able to discuss any possible implications this may have for you and your family.
A gene is the basic unit of heredity. Genes are made of DNA strands and contain instructions to make proteins, which are essential molecules involved in virtually every cellular processes. Every person has 2 copies of each gene, one inherited from each parent. In a diagnostic genetic laboratory, our task is to identify the underlying genetic cause of a disease. A blood sample is taken and sent to a genetic laboratory where we extract the DNA. We use sophisticated technology for sequencing and analysis of DNA. When the test is completed, we write a genetic report which is sent to the doctor or a genetic counselor who will discuss the outcome of genetic test with the patient.
Here at the National Amyloidosis Centre, I can work with patients and their families at many stages of life. I can see those diagnosed with a hereditary form who wish to learn more about the genetics of the condition and the implications for the wider family. And I can see those who have a family history of a hereditary form and wish to discuss the options around genetic testing for themselves. We will usually explore how the different results of a genetic test, the impact of having a genetic condition, or the different options presented to you may feel or fit in with your own beliefs, thoughts and values. We may also cover different topics depending on the reason you have come to clinic, including how to share information with family planning options if you are considering children, and anything else that could arise.
We hope this short video has given you an insight into what to expect when you come to the NAC and what we do. We are the only centre in the UK dedicated to patients with amyloidosis, and our team of expert healthcare professionals will be on hand at every step of your journey. Once you receive an accurate diagnosis, we can then work in conjunction with your regional centre or your local hospital to optimally manage your treatment.
I've been working in amyloidosis for the best part of 40 years, from a time where the disease could barely be diagnosed, not treated at all, to now where we've got amazing technology at the National Amyloidosis Centre to diagnose the disease, specialised scans, all sorts of things to track it and to make sure each patient receives the best tailored therapy.